What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is my quick review of the Happy Cow Magic UFO. And this is the craft right here. This is also known as the FQ777-376. But this thing has a striking resemblance to the Cheerson CX31. Now, it's almost the same, but there are some differences on the shell. And most notably is the lighting. The LEDs on this has single LEDs on the front, rear, and on each side, whereas the Cheerson CX31 has a strip LED going across the front of it and across the back. And upon first seeing this, the LED locations and all, I was thinking that the Cheerson CX31 had better lighting for night flying than this, but after flying this thing in a night flight, I've come to the conclusion that this has better lighting than the Cheerson CX31 actually. Reason being, when this thing lights up at night, the whole body of it lights up. It looks like it glows. I don't know if it's the type of plastic this is, but when these LEDs come on, this whole body shell lights up green. And it looks really awesome. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the War of the Worlds, the classic version. The craft that were in that movie, that's what this thing looks like when it's glowing at night. It has a red LED up the front. I know a lot of you guys don't like when it's red up front and green in the back and all of that stuff, but this has green LEDs on each side and the rear, and the front actually glows red. But it looks like those craft from the classic War of the Worlds to me, and that makes it look really nice. It flies really nice too. This flies better than the Cheerson CX31. Now, the Cheerson CX31 had sort of a wind bug, whereas most people were saying that it doesn't fly outdoors, but I found with the Cheerson CX31 that you can fly it outdoors by banking into the wind. If you do a lot of banking turns with the Cheerson CX31, you can fly through even the toughest of winds. Not extreme wind, but it does handle some wind pretty well when you bank into the wind with that thing. But if you didn't, and you just try to pitch it forward and the wind blows, it sometimes loses its pitch and even gains some negative pitch and starts going backwards on you. Or sometimes it just turned over and just went straight to the ground. But this thing doesn't have any of those problems. Now, even with heavy wind, when a strong gust of wind pushes this thing, it does try to pitch back a little, but nowhere near to the extent that the Cheerson CX31 does. And when you bank turn this into the wind, it makes it fly even better. This thing is a really nice flyer. It can pick up some speed. It flips better than the Cheerson CX31. This thing doesn't have any problem at all recovering from the flips. It actually looks like it's floating when it actually is floating. It's hovering, but it comes to a really still hover after the flip. So it looks really nice and floaty when it does the flips, and it looks like it does them effortlessly. So this thing is a really nice flyer, and it has headless mode. It has all of the features that the Cheerson CX31 has. It has one key return and all. But the headless mode on this, just like the Cheerson CX31, it just uses the heading in front of it. In other words, it uses the front of the craft, whichever direction that the craft is facing, it uses that direction as its heading when you press the headless mode button. So it's not going to help you get out of a bind if you lose your orientation with this thing and you think, oh, I'm going to use headless mode and it'll bring it back or whatever. No, that's not going to help you at all. Not the one key return isn't either because it works off of the headless mode heading. It just flies backwards down the heading. But it does work pretty well, though, the headless mode, as far as locking the direction that it's facing as the heading. It does that really well. Doesn't seem to lose its heading too easy. And this thing is just an awesome flyer. The transmitter is a little small, but these little parts down here protruding out actually make it not so bad. it make it not feel so small. And these sticks stick up pretty far, so you can get some precise flying with this thing. I don't think I like the button placement too much as far as the headless mode and the one key return being here. This is the one key return, and this is the headless mode. This is the flips over here on this shoulder button, and then this button here actually changes the speeds. So a little awkward having the headless mode up here. I don't know why they didn't put the speed button up here and just have one key return and headless mode both down here near each other. But they have them on this side. On the left side is the one key return and headless mode, and the flips in the speed button on this side. All of the trims work. Those are just trims on there, and it takes 4 AAA batteries, and that's about it. It comes with an instructions manual that's actually a 3-fold paper here. Pretty decent English though in it, so it lets you know everything you need to know about this thing in legible English. It does come with a 380 milliamp hour battery, and this battery is smaller than the Cheerson CX31's battery, and this seems like it flies just as long as the Cheerson CX31. I was getting 4.5 minutes flying with this thing, but if you do flips, it'll cut the time shorter, and it comes with an extra set of spare props, but you only get 2 props in there. I was pretty disappointed about that, only getting 2 spares, but let's be real, you're really not going to damage any of these props with it being encased like that. So I don't see us breaking any props or anything, but it would have been nice for them to give us 4. Sometimes we like to use the spare props on other projects. But it comes with a USB charging cable, and that's it. The Happy Cow Magic UFO. Pretty awesome little flyer, and a nice night flyer too. Thanks for watching.